Good morning. Welcome to Kilat Shari Torah's daily review of Maimonides' Sefer HaMitzvot. We concluded our study of the 613 mitzvahs last week, and now we're going through a list of Maimonides' listing of 60 mitzvot, which are not necessarily dependent on the land of Israel. So they could, if the opportunity presents itself with regard to some of these, could be observed, could be practicable in our times in the course of one's life. Let's see. Making confession, vidui. It is a mitzvah of the Torah, positive mitzvah of the Torah, to confess one's wrongdoing, confess where one has transgressed. So the vidui that we say on Erev Yom Kippur, on Yom Kippur itself, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, when we clap over our hearts there, is a fulfillment of this biblical mitzvah. Mitzvah number 22 on the Rambam's list of 60 that we can do in our time, in all times, oral commitments to be fulfilled. When you make a promise, you got to follow through with it. That is a Torah commandment. Mitzvah 23, the priests do in the slaughter of every clean animal. When you slaughter an animal, if you do. If you don't worry too much about this one. But if you do slaughter an animal, then there is a mitzvah to present as a gift to your local Kohen, and you get to pick the Kohen, the choice parts of the animal. Mitzvah 24 in this listing, the Mitzvah of Shrita, Mitzvah of slaughtering. Now, some of us have been present when chickens or larger animals, cows and such like, have been slaughtered. However, if you buy kosher meat, if you make sure that you buy kosher meat from a reliable butcher or other purveyor of such comestibles, you are taking part in the Mitzvah of Shrita. Kisui Hadam, since we mentioned seeing the Shrita actually performed, when a Shrita of birds and animals is performed, it is a mitzvah to cover the blood. And there is a bracha to make, blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who commands us to cover the blood with dirt. Cover the blood, and we actually take a little handful of dirt and sprinkle it on. Okay, next mitzvah, searching for the prescribed simanim, the signs in cattle and animals, obviously split hooves, chewing the cud. Mitzvah number 27, searching for the prescribed signs, indicators of kashrus in birds. Those are the ones that the Torah actually tells us which ones aren't kosher, and we learn from that, we derive from that the signs of which ones are permissible. And mitzvah number 28 in this listing of 60, searching for the prescribed simanim, the indicators in fish, fins and scales, that we're permitted to eat them. Next one, resting on Shabbat. Take a little rest on Shabbos, fulfill that mitzvah. Next one, proclaiming the sanctity of Shabbat. When you make Kiddush or you hear Kiddush and answer Amen, you are taking part in this mitzvah of proclaiming the sanctity of Shabbat. Next, removal of leaven. Only once a year, only Erev Pesach, we are to search our homes for leaven and remove all the chametz, all the leavened products from our dwelling places. A mitzvah of recounting the departure from Egypt. Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim, telling the story of the departure from Egypt. Of course, when you sit down to the Seder table, hopefully, please God, this year it'll be in good health and with all our family and friends, loved ones around the table that we're able to gather together. We will fulfill the biblical mitzvah of Sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim, telling the story when we read through the Haggadah. Next, eating unleavened bread on the 15th, the eve of the 15th day of the night of the 15th day, eve of the 15th day of Nisan. When the 15th of Nisan starts, Pesach, sundown, when we light the candles and usher in the Pesach holiday with the Kiddush and the beginning of the Seder, and davening, of course. And eating unleavened bread on that night is a mitzvah of the Torah. We do it outside of Israel. We do it on 2 nights for reasons that we discussed in the course of talking about the holidays. But eating the unleavened bread, that is a positive mitzvah of the Torah. Resting on the first day of Pesach, resting on the 7th day of Pesach, each of those is a separate mitzvah midaraisa, a Torah commandment. Counting the Omer is a mitzvah according to the Rambam, and we'll just go through a few more of these quickly. Resting on Shavuot, Pentecost, 50 days, count 49 days after Pesach. The next day is Shavuos, again a 2-day holiday for us. Resting on Rosh Hashanah, we're supposed to rest from productive labor on Rosh Hashanah. Resting on, I'm reading them out of order, sorry. Fasting on Yom Kippur is a positive commandment, and resting on Yom Kippur is a positive commandment. 2 individual commandments which you accomplish both on the same day of Yom Kippur, and you may be accomplishing the mitzvah of vidui, of confessing also. We'll leave it for there. Please join us again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.